my name is Claire and welcome to this video. This video is slightly different from what I usually do because I have a guest. I've never had a guest before, well, except for Samuel. So Samuel is our 9-month-old son. He turned 9 months old today. How does that make you feel, Laurie?
Tired.
So
Very tired.
This video, as you can probably tell by the title, is going to be a birth story video, but with a slight difference. It's going to be Laurie's birth story video because you might have seen my video already that I've put up on this channel. If not, you can go and watch that. But this video is going to be from Laurie's perspective. So I was probably out of it for a lot of that.
Drunk.
No, I wasn't drunk. I was out of it for a lot of the birth. Laurie probably knows a lot more of what went on than I do. So, well, hopefully. But we thought this would be quite a funny video to film, just to see what it was like. And apologies if you can hear noise in the background. The cat is jumping about and pushing things off of everything. Yeah. Yep, that fell on the floor. So before filming this video, I have written just a few questions down to like remind us of the birth, you know, and just like ask you a couple of questions to keep us on track, because this video could very quickly just go off on tangents, I think.
Not at all.
So the first question I wrote down, so pre-labour. So just for everybody, I went full term, so I went to 40 weeks and plus 6 days, and then Samuel was born. So we were 6 days over the date that the ultrasound person had given us as our due date. How were you feeling? How prepared were you feeling at that point?
Oh, completely prepared.
Do you think, so we did hypnobirthing and we both did it together, which I find it really helped me, but did you find it really helped you?
I felt it helped me because I could tell it was helping you. So I felt like I was only ever as calm as you were.
Alright, okay.
Without showing it all the time.
So you weren't calm at all?
No, not my insides were screaming. But no, I've been around babies in the family, so never been at a birth. But you could deal with babies to a degree.
Yeah.
But dealing with birth was
something totally different.
Something totally different. Something you had to just, you can think you're prepared, but you're winging it.
Yeah.
You're winging it.
I felt like that. I didn't feel calm. I mean, I suppose the hypnobirthing did like teach us about the biology and stuff of it, which I found helpful.
I found the hypnobirthing helpful. It gave you a few things that I didn't actually know, that you took for granted, that you just thought happened.
Yeah.
Like nobody tells you these things. You don't learn about it in school.
Yeah.
Like, you just think this thing happens.
And
then when you actually start learning about it, and you find out more about it, you're like, right, okay, there's more to this than
than it just popping out.
Yeah.
So the night I went into labour, what did you do? So my recollection of that night is you just slept basically when I was in all this pain, and how long did you sleep for, Laurie?
Hour and a half.
So I went into labour I think about 9 p.m. at night, and I wasn't sure because obviously you never know. You don't know because I've never felt that before. You don't know. So I went into labour at 9 p.m. at night, and then I thought it got pretty intense pretty quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, we didn't really know what was happening till 10. We're like, is it not? Is it not? And then about 10, half 10, we're like this is go
labour.
time.
Yeah.
And it was, let's sit in bed.
Well, so we phoned you. Well, you phoned. I was in a lot of pain, so Laurie phoned the midwife department in the hospital and told them that they thought told them that he thought I was in labour. and they said, oh, it's your first birth, it probably will last days, it'll probably come and go, just take some paracetamol and try and get some sleep.
Yeah, but we got to that point because we were timing the contractions.
Yeah, so we were using the Freya app to time the contractions, and the Freya app was basically saying that I was in established labour, wasn't it?
Very quickly though.
Yeah.
Like very, very quickly, to the point when I phoned them and they said it could be up to a week. I was like, right, this app's just malfunctioned, or not the app's malfunctioned, it's not actually a contraction, we just think it's a contraction, but we've got that wrong, because obviously we've not experienced that before.
Yeah.
But
we were using it incorrectly, we thought.
Yeah, it turns out we weren't.
I know.
It turns out the midwife's just...
They err on that side. Because I guess that's statistically what actually happens. People's first labours take a long time, so that's what they just told us. They told us to hang tight. So I tried to take some paracetamol, didn't I? And I threw that up, did I not?
You took 2 and you kept 1 down. So. If you counted an hour and a half, I'm counting a paracetamol.
Right, okay. Mm-hmm. So, established labour, right? We tried to use a TENS machine. I tried to have a bath. I tried to do all these things to help.
Try to go back to sleep.
It just wasn't happening. It was so sore. It was so painful. So I think we phoned you phoned the hospital a couple of times, is that right?
3 times in the end.
Right, okay.
And the first 2 times the midwife said, look, it's not labour, it's going to go away, go to sleep, it will go away. And it didn't go away, and it kept getting worse, and we just thought, right, okay, we must have this wrong. It's going to get better at some point. It just kept getting worse, to the point that we knew it was definitely happening.
Yeah.
It was very quick, and then the last midwife.
So what time was the last phone call at then?
I think it was about 5:30, 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
And she said, come right now, and if Claire feels a need to push, stop and phone an ambulance. So very quickly went from being a week away to you might need to phone an ambulance in the next 10-15 minutes.
So I remember at that point when you were like, right, okay, let's go to the hospital now. Like the midwife told us to come in. I remember at that point, because I only had my pyjamas on, because I thought I was going back to bed. I didn't think I was going to the hospital, and I was like, I need clothes on, I need to get shoes on, and this is November, so it's cold outside. So you went away and tried to get me clothes, didn't you? I mean...
You picked what you wanted to wear.
Right.
I went and got that. And we didn't get much of it on you, I don't think.
I think my pyjama top stayed on, but I put trousers on, yeah.
And then...
Did I put Ugg boots on with no socks or something? Or yeah, something like that. But see, all the plans that we had, like the birthing soundtrack, the
birth plan,
the birth soundtrack, the outfit I was going to go into labour in, all these things totally went out the window.
But I would definitely plan them again the next time.
Yeah,
because they just make you feel at ease.
Yeah.
On the lead up to it, and when you're getting there, you're like, I must remember that bag because that's got a playlist in it, and we're going to need that.
So we're going to talk about the bag just now. Do you want to?
No.
So the bags came with us. So my hospital bag, Sammy's hospital bag, because I packed them separately, and Laurie had a bag packed for himself as well. We got to the hospital. So we got to the hospital in record time. You actually ran a red light.
Don't tell the police.
And we got
hazards on to apologise.
To the lights. But we got to the hospital really, really quickly. And then, so I went in one door and you went to park the car. And at that point they checked me and made sure that I was enough centimetres dilated so that they could admit me. And I'd made it to 7 centimetres dilated. Like, yeah. I did it all by myself at home. Well, with one paracetamol. Yeah, we're
and emotional support. Weakened emotional support.
So we got to the hospital, and then how many bags made it into the hospital?
Sorry?
Only Laurie's backpack made it into the hospital. My bag with all my essentials in it, and Samuel's bag with all his stuff in it didn't make it into the hospital.
Your bag and Samuel's bag were in the car for maybe a week. So they were in the
packed,
boot.
ready.
They were in the boot, packed and ready. So my bag just had to grab football magazine in it, grab it, let's take it. So when we got to the hospital, it was the only one that was fresh in my mind. It was the only one that wasn't stuck in the boot. So it just came out. I had cereal bars and water in it, so you were fine.
I know. It did not help. Because I had a gown in the bag that I wanted to wear during labour. Although I don't think I would have worn that anyway because...
You wore the hospital gown then, didn't you?
I wore the
Or
hospital
was it your
gown.
jammies?
I wore my jammies while I was giving birth. But they gave me a hospital gown after and it was totally fine. Yeah, it was really, really hot in the hospital. I know everybody says that, but it really is. It's super, super hot. So anyway, right, we digress. So when we got to the hospital, I was in a lot of pain. So you kind of thought when we got there that it would be like I might need a epidural and things like that, because that's what I was asking for, wasn't it? Because I was in so much pain. So while they were trying to put a cannula in my hand, they gave me gas and air to try. So how did you feel like I dealt with the gas and air?
Well, like a true Irish champion.
The gas and air made me feel so loopy. Like it helped massively. Because once I had the gas and air, I was transported
to Temple Bar.
To Temple Bar in Dublin. Because we had an Irish midwife at the start and I just felt like I was in Temple.
You hadn't long been to Temple Bar? I mean, more than 9 months before.
Yeah, a long time before. But yeah, so I thought I was at Temple Bar for a while. I just, the Irish accent.
I didn't.
No. So I managed to only have gas and air when I got to the hospital. I managed to say, no, I don't think I need the...
You couldn't get the cannula in?
Yeah, they couldn't get...
tried a few times and then you said this will do.
Yeah.
Because you were loopy.
I was feeling much better.
And you were like a lot calmer by that point. Because they had to move you from the bed that they brought you in to the bed that you were going to give birth on.
Yeah.
And that was tough.
Yeah, that was
coming
really
down
hard.
The stairs from the flat took half an hour.
Yeah, it was usually less than a minute.
And to get to the car. It took half an hour, just obvious reasons. Neighbour helped us. And then getting you from the bed that they rolled you in, the trolley to the bed took a long time. So
that's it. In my mind, that
took, well, maybe 5 minutes, but to move you from one bed to another. And you had to get up and move.
Right, I had
they
to get
weren't
off the bed.
lifting you. They had to get you up and moving, and you were just at a lot of pain at that point. I mean, obviously it wasn't as bad because you're paracetamol, and then you had the gas and air, and you just didn't need anything else. You got yourself in the zone. You never opened your eyes. As soon as you got in that bed, I don't think you opened your eyes until Sammy was born. That's not even a joke.
So that's it. Like, so I because we did the hypnobirthing, I had all these techniques, breathing techniques and stuff, and I relied so heavily on them, didn't I?
Yeah.
I was just...
You were good though. You just closed your eyes, got yourself into your zone, had your gas in one hand, had my hand in the other hand. Didn't even have to stop for water because I was feeding you water. Although I was trying to feed you water and you kept saying no, and then the midwife would say, Laurie, give Claire water, and you're like, where's my water? So I get schooled.
I think you did really well.
Thank you.
But so we were at the hospital. We arrived at the hospital at what, 7 in the morning? Was it?
Yep, 7 in the morning.
7 in the morning, and then I had Samuel at 12:11. So how many hours is that? That's 5 hours. So did it feel like 5 hours for you?
Yeah, it was quick. It was quick.
Oh, sorry, I thought that would be a long time, but no.
No. Well, it
did
felt
it
like
fly
5 hours, but it didn't feel as if it was taking ages. Like, I wasn't bored.
So that's one of my questions. I wrote concerned at any point, bored.
Certainly wasn't bored. See, because it was all so new and like everything the midwife. I mean, the midwives too that we had were fantastic.
Honestly, all the midwives that we spoke to, all the people in the hospital, I think that we dealt with were fabulous. The NHS staff were second to none.
And that one was a student midwife, and she was brilliant.
The one, so we had a midwife, and then she had a student working with her, and both of them were lovely, weren't they?
Yeah.
I think it was only her. It was her first full birth from start to finish.
She'd been there for the start of one, and then her shift changed, and then she'd been for the end of one. But this was her first.
Yeah, from start to finish, because shift started at 7:30 or something like that, 8 o'clock.
I think so. Yeah, 7:30, I think it was, because our midwife showed me how to get in.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Right. So. The shift changeover, it's like 7:30 in the morning. We got there at 7, so she was there for the full of me getting in there and then having Samuel, and then also recovery, the bit of recovery you do down in the labour ward. So we've been through labour, we got to the point that Samuel's been born. Right there. He's right there. So before having Samuel, you didn't want to cut the cord, you didn't want to look down there, you didn't want anything to do with any of that stuff, did you?
Not in particular. The looking part, I'm not bad with blood, but the cutting of the cord, I'd seen a cord before, like, on a baby when it was dried up, and that's something you've never seen before. So I didn't want anything to do with the cord.
Yeah.
But then once it was there, I get into it.
You got into it?
No, but that's what I mean. It wasn't boring. There was so much happening, so much new stuff you'd never seen before. And because I'm okay with blood and gore.
Gore. It's a horror movie.
I could be a butcher. Because it was alright with that, I didn't feel queasy or anything, so I started watching, and then it was really interesting. Seeing the life come. Yeah. So I watched it all, and then she's like, "Do you want to cut the cord?" I was like, "Absolutely, cut the cord."
And then also, because we didn't know what sex Samuel was going to be before we had him, Laurie had to tell me.
So babies are covered in a lot of stuff when they come out. So the midwife said, "Tell Claire what sex the baby is." I was like, "It's a boy? I think it's a boy." And the midwife was like, "Yeah, it's a boy. Yeah, it's a boy." Because he was covered. It was hard to see.
Hey, I don't know.
He was a different colour. He was very purple. It was hard to tell. Everything like that. I thought I dealt well with everything until the point where they said,
"What sex is it?"
What sex is a baby?
Or tell me what sex the baby is.
And it was like, toss a coin.
So at any point were you concerned? Were you worried about anything? Because I know there was because when I started pushing, the pushing lasted for ages. What felt like ages, didn't it?
Yeah, and they got a doctor. They got 2 doctors in.
Yeah. Because it was going on so long.
Yeah, they were starting to get worried, and his heartbeat was going up and down a wee bit. But then they got another heartbeat monitor on, and that one was more normal. So they weren't as worried about him when it was going up and down a wee bit. Said that's fine because it's when you're pushing, so it was to be expected that his heart rate would go up a wee bit. So the midwife wasn't too worried. Then the doctor came in just to double check, and her shift changed, and then another doctor came in, and 2 of them weren't 100% happy.
Yeah, they wanted to kind of use intervention, didn't they?
Yeah, they wanted to use forceps.
Which I didn't really want if I could avoid it, obviously.
He was talking about, he eventually got to the point where he said, "Right, you've got one more push, and then I'm going to have to take over," because he said, "Right, let me in," and the midwife went, no, it's going to come naturally. And he gave you one more push, and on that push...
Well, on that push, I got an episiotomy. Is that what you mean?
No, I think you'd already had the episiotomy. I can't remember. No, you never had the episiotomy at that point yet, because that was midway through the pushing, I think.
Right, okay.
You had to get the episiotomy.
Yeah.
It was, they couldn't see his head.
Right.
And then it was on that final push.
They could start seeing his head. Yeah, right.
And at that point, they were like, "Okay, we don't need stuff." And then that doctor left.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'm not needed here. That's me retiring right now. So
I know that was the doctor's last birth that he was going to be involved in. No, was he not there when Samuel was actually born?
Yeah, he did come back into the room.
Yeah.
That was his shift finish.
Yeah. He seemed nice. I mean, so during labour, I don't remember anybody. Absolutely nobody. I remember getting requests from our midwife, and I remember doing what I was told, but I don't remember speaking to anybody, having any conversations, anything like that. But after Samuel was born, I was a completely different person.
At one point, when you were still pushing, I think it was 7 or 8 people in the room.
Yeah, couldn't have told you that.
Students coming in to watch, like student surgeons and other student doctors who, if it did get taken, the doctors would have to take over, it would have been his students. So there was 7 or 8 people in the room at one point, and you had no idea anybody was there.
I don't care. Anybody could have been there at that point. I was just happy to get Samuel moving, wasn't I?
I was like, the more people in, the more chance of you guys helping out, because I don't know what to do.
Did you feel a bit useless?
I had the water.
Oh, of course.
You wouldn't drink from me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You gave me a son, I'm over it.
Right, okay. So, where are we? Oh yeah, so when I was getting the episiotomy, I said I don't know why I was so out of it, and I wasn't sure
You were pretty out of it.
about like how far they were going to have to cut. So what did I say? I said
It's not going to go right down to my bumsy, is it?
I was worried that they were going to cut right down to my bumsy, but no, they assured me they weren't, and they didn't.
They had a wee laugh, which was disconcerting because she was holding a scalpel to you at that point. But
Yeah.
I trusted her. I trusted you.
And then we had Samuel, and he came out, and then because I wanted to do skin to skin, at that point, or was it at that point, or was it before he came out? No, he came out, didn't he? And I still had my pyjama top on, like a t-shirt,
Yeah.
and I wanted to do skin to skin. So I, what did I say?
One of them
What?
said, you need to pull down your top and you're like, get my boobsies out.
Oh, I was like, I need to get my boobsies out. I need to get, because I wanted them to be on my
you were
chest.
quite panicked.
And I was like, I was trying to, I just remember trying to like get my top
trying
up.
to take your top over your head, essentially.
Yeah.
And the nurse was like, one button, there you go.
Yeah.
Up your
It was ridiculous. Because I was like panicked, like, because I really wanted to do the skin to skin thing. And then managed to. Samuel came on my chest, didn't he? He just lay there and then lay for ages, didn't we? It was so nice.
Yeah, lay for a long time.
Yeah, it could have even been an hour, couldn't it?
I think it was over an hour.
Yeah. And when the three of us...
Well, that was after they'd been and checked him and
Yeah, they
weighed
checked
him
him.
and counted his fingers and toes.
Yeah. No, but straight away he got put on me and then he got taken away to
Yeah.
get all that.
And then he came back.
And then he came back. Because they had to like stitch me up and
Yeah.
all that. And then after it they laid him on me and we just held him, didn't we? And we just sat, they just left the room and they left the three of us and we just kind of got to know each
It
other,
wasn't
didn't
a
we?
busy day, so they just left us there for us.
Yeah, they did. It was lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah, the staff were brilliant.
Yeah, I couldn't fault them at all that
No.
day. They were so nice. So that's really all of my notes, Laurie. Is there anything else you would like to add? So that was our birth, and then I stayed in hospital overnight, and then you came and picked me up the next day, and he took me home and took Samuel home, and that's been us 9 months.
9 months of baby.
Gone quickly. So is there anything you want to add about the labour, birth?
Get as much sleep in beforehand as you can.
Yeah.
No, it was good. I would recommend the hypnobirthing. That was good. Even you only used wee bits of it during it, but you got the wee bits from that, and just having somebody tell you what was going to happen and explain it slowly and point by point, that helped and helped put your mind at ease. And even if you didn't know exactly what was happening, you knew rough stages and what was going to maybe come next. And
And I could understand the stages more, you know, and I could understand what things meant a lot more.
And as things happened, you were like, oh, yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah, and I think that helped you too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is our birth story. Are you happy with our birth? We had a very positive birth, I feel, do you?
Yeah, very quick.
Very quick,
Very
it was
positive.
quick. It was quick for a first labour, apparently. So it started at 9 PM at night and we had him at 12 the next day. So not long at all. But yeah, so that is our positive birth story. I hope you enjoyed hearing it. We enjoyed going through it. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.